I'm joined now by Nancy Cordes and Major Garrett. All right, so Major, finish the sentence for me. Donald Trump is preparing tonight by
trying to position himself again as the change agent in this election. That's really the last place that Donald Trump can land his plane successfully if he wants to win the presidency of the United States. Take this last opportunity before the largest audience he'll have before this election closes and say, you have a lot of misgivings about me. I'm an imperfect candidate, to be sure. My party has misgivings about me. But I am, and I do represent change. And if you are in any way dissatisfied or really dissatisfied with Washington, I am your agent of change. I'll deal with lobbyists, term limits, I'll reduce your taxes, et cetera, et cetera. And that way, and really I think only that way, talking to his senior advisors, can he remove himself from the place he's been for the last 2 weeks, which has been on defense, paranoid, warning about rigged elections, and doing all sorts of things that don't create any sense of optimism or hope for what a Trump presidency might be, but just sort of this dark vision of villains all around him. He's got to get out of that space. And he's got to get to a space that reminds people what they were at least nominally attracted to him for in the first place, and say, I can, if not fix Washington, certainly change it and shake it up.
Nancy, same question to you. What is Hillary doing? I mean, a lot of people are saying this might be a rope-a-dope moment. Do you think that's what they're planning on doing?
You know, she just wants to play it safe. She's in a great position right now. She has a lead in enough battleground states that even if she didn't start expanding her map to some of these red states as she is right now, she could still comfortably get to the 270 that she needs. So no big mistakes, no risky moves. She wants to continue to make this case that she's made in the first two debates, and her campaign feels more or less successfully that she's the one who's calm and steady, that she's not going to be provoked by Donald Trump, that the more amped up he gets, the calmer she gets. She doesn't interrupt him. She doesn't try to go over her time. She just says what she has to say. And hey, if he hogs the spotlight, then so much the better as far as they're concerned.
But she's doing something differently this time around, which is she's having to prep on her own words and some of the words that her staff have used in emails, which is taking away from perhaps some of the things that she might be wanting to prep on.
Right, and I wouldn't be surprised if she gets asked tonight, look, why is it when we read these emails that even your own closest aides and allies say things like, she's her own worst enemy, she has trouble apologizing, she has bad instincts. These are not the kinds of things that you want to hear from the people who are closest to you. You might expect to hear those things from Donald Trump or from Republicans, but these are private thoughts that her aides are expressing. And so she's definitely preparing to get questions like that tonight. And she'll probably pivot very quickly to the larger point that her campaign is trying to make about these emails, which is, let's not forget where these emails came from. They were hacked, they were stolen, as they put it, most likely by Russian actors who, at one point, Donald Trump urged to hack more Democrats. And they say that this is a concerted attempt to try to bring her down. And you even now have one prominent Republican, Marco Rubio, giving her a little assistance here, saying, look, I'm not going to talk about these WikiLeaks emails because, you know, today it's Hillary Clinton, tomorrow it could be any of us.
Think of the show as Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. I would like to call it Lifeline. Marco Rubio. Marco Rubio is my lifeline. Yeah. Boom.
Yeah, there it is. Boom.
You would not expect Marco Rubio
because
to be the one on the other
I do
line.
expect, if not Hillary Clinton, Chris Wallace to challenge Donald Trump on this underlying premise, which is, why are you so tolerant of this? If, in fact, this is a foreign actor or actors representing a nation that has hostile interests or is at least nominally hostile to America's overall foreign policy aims, why are you so satisfied that this is happening? It can happen to you. It can happen to any player in American politics. Don't we have at least some bipartisan agreement that this ought not to occur, regardless of the underlying facts? And if you want to bring them up, fine, but shouldn't you also at least be as critical of the actors as you are of Hillary Clinton? And Trump has said nothing. As a matter of fact, it's worth pointing out, the last time Donald Trump's handlers allowed him to have a press conference was when he egged on the Russians to do more hacking.
Right.
He hasn't had a press conference since. That is not an accident or a coincidence.
Well, it's interesting as well. He's been on the campaign trail talking about a rigged election, and for a lot of people, the idea that foreign actors or foreign agents may be trying to influence the election sounds more to me as a rigging than some of the things that the campaign is alleging, which is that there might be a rigging at the polls.
Right, and that is a conversation that obviously Hillary Clinton wants to drive because she is looking to divert attention from the underlying facts and specifics of these emails. But that doesn't make it illegitimate. Just because it's a diversion doesn't mean it's not functionally important to the course of this election or historically important in any American presidential election.
And in the last debate, Donald Trump had some very confusing things to say about this hacking. First, he said maybe there wasn't any hacking going on, which is sort of bizarre because, we've read these emails by the thousands now from the DNC. I don't think there's any dispute over the fact that these emails were hacked. And then he said, well, I don't know that it was the Russians. In another debate, he said maybe it was some 400-pound loser lying in their bed somewhere. Why, when you've got the entire intelligence apparatus of the United States, which you